I have found the best MACD indicator strategy that has an extremely high win rate. Even though the strategy is very simple and easy to follow, this strategy still makes a lot of insane profits. This strategy uses an improved version of the MACD indicator that works a lot better at providing accurate buy and sell signals. This means that we will be able to take positions that are a lot more profitable by using this simple improved MACD indicator. It works perfectly well on any market with a high level of volume, like Forex, stocks, and crypto. So be sure to watch the video all the way to the end if you'd like to know how to use it in a profitable way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Now without further ado, let's get into it. So let's first head over to TradingView.com, open up the euro versus the US dollar, and set the time frame to 5 minutes. This strategy can be used on most time frames, including the 1 minute, the 15 minute, and also the 30-minute chart. The next step will be to come up here to our indicators tab, and then you'll be searching for the AK MACD indicator, which is this one here by AlgoKit. Now we're going to have to make a few changes for this indicator to optimize it for this strategy. And to do so, we just need to come across here and double click on it. Then in our style section, we're just going to be removing these two bar colors. Now let's take a look at how we'll actually use this indicator. The indicator is very powerful. However, in its most basic form, you can look at it as a buy and sell signal indicator. Whenever the indicator switches from red to green and the signal occurs above our zero level, we can interpret this as a buy signal. And whenever the indicator switches from green to red and the signal occurs below our zero level, we can interpret this as a sell signal. Now let's actually have a look at some potential entries that can be made using this indicator. As you can see, our dots are positioned above our zero line. This does indicate that we are currently in a bullish trend. However, we do see that the dot did turn red. This does indicate that there may be a pullback about to play out. We then see that the dot switched back to green, indicating that the trend will probably continue, and this means that we can safely enter our long position. You can bring your stop loss down towards the most recent swing low, and for our take profit target, we will go for 1.5 risk to reward ratio. And we see that this trade managed to be successful. Here is an example for a short position. We see that the dots are currently positioned below our zero level. This shows us that we are currently in a downtrend. We see that the dots managed to switch from green to red while positioned below our zero level, so this means that we can enter into a sell position. We'd be entering this sell order on the close of our trigger candlestick, bringing our stop loss there up towards our most recent swing high, and once again targeting 1.5 times the risk. Another successful trade. Now that you know how this indicator works and how powerful it actually is, we will now go ahead and add another indicator to our chart, because even though the indicator is very solid, it still will provide us with a lot of false signals. By adding more indicators to the chart for confirmation, we will be able to eliminate a lot of these false signals. So the next indicator we will be adding will be our SSL hybrid indicator, which is this one by Michael. Then the final indicator we will be adding to our chart is the simple volume indicator. These are all of the indicators we will need for this profitable scalping strategy. Now we do need to optimize a few of these indicators by accessing their settings. So first, let's double click on our SSL hybrid indicator. We're then coming to our style section and removing everything but our MA baseline and our bar color. Next, we need to come up to our input section, and we're actually going to be changing our MA baseline length. And we're going to be changing it from 60 to 30. We're then going to come over here and change our baseline type from HMA to EMA. The last thing we need to do is change our volume indicator settings. So we're just going to double click on this. We're then going to come across to our style section and turn on our volume moving average. We're also going to be changing it from blue to white to make it a little more visible. Then come across to your input section and change the moving average length from 20 to 9. Now all of these indicators are ready to be used. Let's get into our trading rules. These two extra indicators we have added will really help us to filter out those bad signals the MACD was originally giving us. So our SSL will work as the trend filter indicator. This means that we will be using the SSL indicator as a confirmation indicator. We will only be looking for buy entries whenever the price action is trading above our EMA baseline, and we'll only be looking for sell entries whenever the price action is trading below our EMA baseline. However, this strategy will not work if there is a low amount of volume in the market. That's why we added our volume indicator to make sure that there is enough volume to push the price in the direction we are trading. To determine whether there is enough volume, we will be using the moving average on our volume indicator. Whenever the histogram is positioned above our MA, we will assume that there is enough volume in the market. If our histogram is below our moving average, we will assume that there isn't enough volume currently in the market. Now that you know how we will be using these extra indicators, let's take a look at when we would enter a buy position. So for a long position to be valid, we need to have all of these conditions met. First, the price action must be trading above our EMA, indicating that we are in an uptrend. Once there is a pullback to the EMA, the candlestick and the EMA line will turn grey or red. If the price is at the EMA but the color does not change, we will simply ignore this signal. To validate the entry, we need to take a look at our volume indicator. If the volume bar is above our moving average, this will mean that the second condition is met. Lastly, we need to take a look at our improved MACD indicator. If the dots are positioned above our zero level, we will enter into our long position when the dots change from red to green. We will now enter into our trade as the MACD dots turn from red to green, showing us that the bullish trend should continue and giving us our last confirmation. We'd be placing a buy order on the close of our trigger candlestick. We'll be placing our stop loss either at our EMA or our most recent swing low. This will depend on the volatility of the market at the time of the trade. Then for our take profit target, we will be targeting 1.5 times the risk. As you can see here, the price has pulled back into our EMA baseline. The color of the candlestick and the EMA has also changed color to grey. This means that we have our first condition met. If we take a look at our volume indicator, we also see that our histogram bar is positioned above our moving average, and this means that our second condition has also been met. However, if we take a look at our MACD, it has not actually caught up yet. We will need to wait for the MACD to turn green before entering into a position. We can see here that the MACD has turned green. However, we won't be entering into a position because the switch happened below our zero level. Now let's take a look at a short signal. Firstly, we see that the price is trading below our EMA, indicating that we are currently in a downtrend. Once there is a pullback to the EMA, the candlestick and EMA will either turn grey or blue. If the price is at the EMA but the color doesn't change, we will ignore this signal. To validate the entry, we need to take a look at our volume indicator. If the volume histogram is positioned above our moving average, this means that our second condition is met. Lastly, we need to take a look at our improved MACD indicator. If the dots are positioned below our zero level, we will enter into our short trade when the dots switch from green to red. We will now enter into our trade because the MACD shows that the bearish trend should continue. So we will be placing our short trade on the close of this trigger candlestick. We will either be placing our stop loss at our EMA or our most recent swing high, depending on the volatility in the market. And then for our take profit, we will target a 1.5 risk to reward ratio. Now let's see how this trade plays out. Another successful trade. This version of the MACD indicator works a lot better than the old version. When we combine the improved MACD indicator with other indicators shown in this strategy, it seems to work extremely well, showing a lot of profitable trades. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out. Also, if you'd like me to backtest this strategy, please let me know down in the comments below. I love you all. Peace.